Semi-final then for the 7-year-olds. Coombs got away well from the middle, also in there Copeland. Will Pickering, that's the front three, with Jack Davey making up the 4. So the rest have got work to do to get in there. As they come down the second stroke now, it is Coombs out there in front. Who in second place is Copeland, in third is Pickering, then Davey in 4. So into the last turn now, Ashton Coombs, through by the looks of things, also going through, looks like Copeland, then it's Pickering and Davey, and I think these 4 are going to have it.
Too late.
So, Cheeseman out there in front in this one. Charlie Black in the mix as well. And the Southwest rider, Ben Avery, in the mix too. So it's Cheeseman out there in front, Avery in the 2, Charlie Black in 3. And Robbie Hall out in the 4th spot. With Dylan Shipton trying to make a race of it as well. But as they go down the final straight, it is Cheeseman out there front, Avery, Black. And who's going to get this 4th spot? It looks like Robbie Hall's going to make it in 4. Semi-final then for the 11-year-olds, their second one, and it looks like Ethan Craig in there and Matt Hart. This is for the 13-year-olds rather, Nick Houghton in there as well. So Ethan Craig it is out there in front, Hart is there in the 2, and then in the 3 looks like Nicholas Houghton. Who's going to get the 4? It looks like Travis Wilson's going to make it. Next semi-final, second semi-final for the 13-year-olds. Josh Werner's away well. Also in there, Denny Laborde and also Emily Arena. They're the front 3. Toby Joyce there trying to move through. He's up in the 4. But it's Werner out there in front. Laborde, Joyce, Arena, Handling, Marman, Spelling. And bringing up the rear looks like for the number 18 of Oscar Ricketts. So down the final straight they come. Here are your qualifiers are Werner, Joyce, Laborde, and it's close between Emily Arena and Sebastian Pantlin. So Vets now on the track, Pinnock away well on the outside. Chris Kiff is Pinnock and Kiff 1 and 2 with Neil Hopes up in the 3. Neil Stewart batting out for 4. But as they come down the second straight, Pinnock leads it, Kiff in second, Hopes and Stewart. Then Steve Manning and Ryan Davis. And here are your qualifiers for the final. Pinnock, Kiff, Stewart and Manning just ahead of Davis. Second semi-final for the Vets. Here we go. Fabian Warney has gone off to a good start. Danny Taylor as well in the mix. Into turn number 1. It's Warney, Taylor in there as well. Catford's going well there in the 3. Then we've got Bernie Sheldon to the 4 going through at the minute. Jason King up in the 5th. But he's still got to pass another one to get through. But it's Taylor now out there in front. Warney is there in the 2. They're going through along with Bernie Shaw. And it's going to be Stuart Catford or Jason King for the 4th. And that was close again. Payback semi-final. Here we go. Right to off away. Well, so through was Luckhurst and Fermor. So it's Luckhurst out there in front. Kai White there in the 2. Fermor's there in the 3. Who's got that all in Paul's 4th spot? It looks like the 34.5 of Owen Baxter. Oh, massive crash there. Will Smith is on the ground, but it's Luckhurst going through along with White, Fermor and Baxter. 4 spots still available for the last race of the day. Is Hudson out there in front with Campbell, Vasquez and Arena. Looks like they'll be the front 4 going into turn number 1. It is Hudson out there in front, Arena's there in the 2, Campbell's there in the 3, Vasquez in 4 with next up look like Isidore there in the 5, who looks like he could miss out unless he improves, and Isidore going for it on Vasquez, going through to the final now. It is going to be Hudson going through Arena, Campbell, Wallace has now come from nowhere. Oh, close on the line. Josh Wallace came from nowhere there to try and challenge for that 4th spot. with Tian Isidore. This is the semi-final number 14, which is the 11-year-olds. Who's going to get the stamina this way? Harvey Short out there in front with Emily Hart on control next, and Caden James. And George Flory, those are the four going through at the minute. So Harvey Short's going through along with Emily Hart, Caden James and George Flory are qualifiers. Those are your semi-finals done and dusted. Okay, stay tuned. We're going to be letting you know about the finals later on. We'll let you know when the sheets go up. In the meantime, I'm going to hand you over to Chris Curlin, who wants to say a few words.
Hi everyone, hope you're really enjoying today. There's been a lot of hard work gone into this, and I'm sure you'll agree the track looks absolutely amazing. On behalf of the committee, I just want to thank 4 people in particular, which are Tracy and Tony Oren for all their hard work, and Emma and Mark Hallwood, who have really put a lot of effort in to get this track where it is today. So can I have a round of applause? The person that I'd really like to thank for this, I'd be extremely embarrassed. Mark, can you come over please? On behalf of the committee at Runnymede, this man here puts a lot of effort in behind the scenes. He does a hell of a lot of paperwork, he does a lot of the fundraising and a lot of the proposals that we have to put in. And on the behalf of the committee, we'd just like to thank him. He's normally not very shy, but he doesn't like a lot of praise. So please, can you big it up for this man? He does a hell of a lot for this club. Mark Hallwood.
Thank you.
We're ready on the gate for this B final. Tom Whittaker for Bournemouth, Amber Shepherd for the Southwest. As Tom Whittaker getting the early lead over Amber Shepherd, they're going to turn number 1. Next up, the local Cruiser B final. Full date of artists should be back for that one. And Tom Whittaker is out there in front, Amber Shepherd there in the 2. It looks like it's going to end up that way as we're going to move on to the Open Cruiser B final. Day goes down. Pat Robinson got off to a good start. Also on the inside, Nicholas Owen and Justin Essen going well. 3 in the line going into turn number 1, and it's Nicholas Owen. The young gun out there in front. Robinson is there in the 2, Essen is there in the 3. Then back in the 4. Roof over 0-0-0. Steve Wilcox moving through. Then Mike Whittaker and James Pritchard and Graham Watts, that's the order. Toby Harrison behind, still on the second straight, but it's Nick Oaten going through to take it. Steve Wilcox gets the 2, Pat Robinson 3, James Pritchard and Justin Essen almost together there for 4. Silver Cruiser B final. Chris Carter away well, Keith Wilson, Neil Stewart, and Art Lewis. That was the order. Billy Scuffle and Paul Bradshaw. Down the final straight they come. It looks like it's going to be Chris Carter followed by Keith Wilson and Mark Lewis here as they go across the line. B final up next for the 6 and unders. So day away back for the Pocket Rocket B final. Dudman's got away well. So too is Coulter on the outside, on the inside. So Johnson Hunt and Samson Townsend in there as well. Charlie Keith. Your leader at the minute is Craig Dudman, followed by Charlie Coulter. Then Samson Townsend in the 3rd spot, followed by Johnson Hunt. And Zach Avery, Charlie Keith, Ollie Johnson in there as well, and Luke Wilcox. But 116 for Gospel, Freddie Dudman is going to take it. Charlie Poulter in 2, Johnson Townsend gets the 3. Again, 8 back for the B final in the 7-year-olds. Carl Nelson getting away well, but Carl Summerfield away quicker. Nightwood Riders completely getting it wrong there on the first straight, both of them. That was Zach Kennard and Ollie Wilcox. Hopefully they're both all right, but it's Summerfield out there in front, Carl Nelson in the 2. Then it looks like Ryan Middleton in 3. In 4 looks like Caden Roberts. Zach Kennard's up okay, and we're just waiting for Ollie Wilcox to get to his feet, and he has. So it's Summerfield out there in front, he's going to take it. Middleton makes it an hand over 1-2 with Carl Nelson and Caden Roberts back in 4. 8-year-olds B final now on the gate. Away to go. Lewis Longley away very quickly, along with Jack Hoare and Nathan Wilson in there as well. On the outside, see Ollie O'Brien trying to pick up a place or 2. He's out in the 4th place, but it's Longley out there in front, Wilson there in the 2. Well, it looks like Jack Hoare is next, and then the 18 player Dylan Barnes moving up. Ollie O'Brien next, and then we've got the horse rider Lewis Clark. It's coming down the last straight now. And it's going to be Lewis Longley taking it for the Rockets. From Nathan Wilson in the 2. Jack Hoare in 3. 9-year-olds B final now on the gate. Jack Davey gets away well. Ethan Ashton in there as well. He's there in the 2. Then we've got Harry McCann. Oh! Someone goes flying right off the track there down the bank. But it is Ben Davey out there in front. Ethan Ashton there in the 2. Harry McCann in 3. Bailey Miller in 4. Looked like Sydney Hatton was a rider who dived off big time there on the first straight, but he's up okay and will ride off. So Davey out there in front, although Ashton coming back at him. It's going to be close on the line. Ben Davey and Ethan Ashton. Well, it looks like Harry McCann got the 3rd, Bailey Miller in 4. And looking further back down the track, Sydney Hatton's up okay. This is the Veterans B final. Ryan Davis off well there. Phil Beer on the inside going well. And from the outside, look like Graham Copeland in the mix. 2. So it's Ryan Davis out there in front. Phil Beer is in there in the 2. On the outside, Graham Copeland now picking off a place. And Jason King coming through with Mike Taggs. So Davis out there in front. Copeland in the 2. Mike Baggs on the 3. And Jason King in 4. Should be the girls 9 and 10-year-old B finals. Lily Adams, Opal Kirkman, Ebony Lennon, Stephanie Mack, the runners and riders for this one. Ebony Lennon is out there in front. Opal Kirkman and Lily Adams. And then Stephanie Mack. So Lily Adams is out there in front. Opal Kirkman there in the 2. Ebony Lennon into 3. And Stephanie Mack gets the 4. 10-year-old B final then for final number 9. Joseph Harris it is out there in front, although round the outside here comes Robert Head for the Hawks. And also in there, Rowan Barnes there in the 3rd spot. Sean Berry's back in the 4. Carter Bosbridge is next. So it's Joseph Harris out there in front. Robert Head is there in the 2. Rowan Barnes in 3. They come down the final straight now. And it is 0-1-4. Joseph Harris from Robert Head, Rowan Barnes, Sean Berry, Cara Bosbridge and Lewis Devlin.
What number's that, Tone? Well, on the sheet, final number 9.
Final number 10 is the 11-year-olds in final. Back with a full gate for this one. Oakley Haslett is out there in front. Nisco there in the 2. That's Shipton there in the 3. Lewis Harkness is up in the 4. So it's Oakley Hassel out there in front, Oliver Nisco there in the 2. Dylan Shipton has come through for 3. Lewis Harkness next. And Lucas Hawton. Ben Wilcox out there in front. Jack Wiggins there in the 2 spot in the 12-year-old B final. Wiggins out there just trying to go up the inside there of Wilcox. And it's Jack Wiggins moving through. Ben Wilcox there in the 2. Tyler Parker in 3. As they go down the final straight, and Jack Wiggins comes down the final straight. He's going to take this B final. Wilcox in 2. And Moran in 3. James Campbell leads them out there in final number 12 for the 13-year-olds there, B final. Some big names in this one. It's Campbell out there in front. Spelling there in the 2. Martin up there in 3. Then in 4 we've got Holgren and Sebastian Panton as well. They're out there in front. It looks like James Campbell is Spelling there in the 2. Holgren, Martin and Panton. 14-year-old B final now on the gate. Jason Daly leading this one out. Tyler Brunson there in the 2 spot. Max Henderson in 3. Oliver Warburton in 4. And Harrison LaMarchelle in 5. With Jason Daly for the Hawks, he is going to take this B final.
Oh.
15-year-old B final, Joseph Keel in there. Megan Doohig and Aaron Ayling. Looks like without Jack Lewington, who had that crash earlier, I hope he's okay. We'll see him back on the track too. Joseph Keel is out there in front. Megan Doohig in the 2 and in the 3. Aaron Ayling. Joseph Keel is out there leading it. Megan Doohig in the 2. Aaron Ayling in the 3. Megan Doohig trying to catch Joseph Keel, and on the last straight, it could be Joseph Keel, though it looks like he's doing enough to hang on. Joseph Keel then takes it. Megan Doohig in 2 and Ayling in 3. Just a 2 for the 16-year-olds, Daniel Gilbert and George Newell. It's Daniel Gilbert out there in front, George Newell in 2nd. So Daniel Gilbert and George Newell, and now George now going on the inside. Try and take the lead, and he does. Which leaves Daniel Gilbert down to 2. George Newell it is taken again in 2nd. Just 3 back to 17 to 29-year-olds, Matt Martin, Charlie Luckhurst and Jake Reed. Nathaniel Martin now there in front for Brooklyn. Also Charlie Luckhurst as well. And then Jake Reed. Coming down the final straight, Charlie Luckhurst now on the outside of Nathaniel Martin. And Charlie Luckhurst does it. There we go, regional payback there, B final, some big hitters in this one. James Forward trying to do it on his local track, also in there as well, Will Smith, who had that crash earlier, but they've got to catch Bolton today. He's Bolton out there in front, Howard in the 2, Smith, and here comes Wallace, who just missed out on that final place. And Will Smith, that 3rd straight, has undone him again. So that leaves Bolton today out there in front. Howard gets 2, Wallace in 3, McNabb in 4. Gay goes down, Thermal on the inside, got away well. Savage as well is in the mix, and so too Barney Priest. It's Savage and Thermal neck and neck into turn one, with Thermal just holding the advantage. Savage, Priest in behind, and then they look like Benjamin as they come down into the third straight. Nathan Denise is next. Oh, Fabian Shaw crashes out in front of me, so out there in front still, it is Thermal. There is Savage, Priest, Hughes, Trotter and Denise. Okay, now we've got final number 27, which is the 11-year-olds A final. For Runnymede then, Robbie Hawke. For the Hawks, George Flory. For Gosport, Charlie Black. For Peckham, Caden James. For the Hawks, Emily Hart. For the Southwest, Ben Avery and Harvey Shorts. And for Peckham, Lenny Cheeseman. There we go, Cheeseman away well from the middle. Harvey Short going with him though. It's Cheeseman only just for Harvey Short there in the 2 spot. And also in the mix as well, little Charlie Black going well there for Gosport. As they come down the final, the second start I should say. It's Cheeseman out there in front. Short, Harvey's moved in the third. Caden James is next from Charlie Black. As they go down, oh there's a carnage on the second start. 6 riders right down. And it's Lucy Hart, who's managed to avoid the trouble. Out there in front, Lucy Hart takes it. Charlie Black gets second. Robbie Hall in third. Harvey Short in 4. Caden James in 5. There we go then, the girls. 13 and 14-year-olds. Amy Willows out there in front in this one. Sorry, I should say Sydney Wheatley. Then we've got Lark Strong and Aggie Harrison. Aggie Harrison just moving into that 2 spot now. Sydney Wheatley out there in front, Aggie Harrison in 2, Lara Wong in 3. There's Sydney Wheatley still out there in front. Aggie Harrison trying to give chase. Into the last set now. And it looks like... Oh, she's gone down. Oh! And Lara Wong has just said, thank you very much. I'll take the win.
Oh, no.
Jay Wallace. For the Hawks, Dan Pearce. For Bournemouth, Luca Mancy. Bournemouth again, Theo Pope. For Knightwood, Ashley Rogers. For Bristol, Sam Penny. For TNT, Tyler Carter. And for Runnymede, Ben Curling. Guy goes down, we're racing. Curling's got off to a good start. Then saying there's Tyler Carter, who's up there as well. And from the outside, could be Sam Penny there for the Southwest. But out there in front is Curling, out there in front. Penny's there in the 2. Carter in 3. It looks like the 22 player, Theo Pope down there as well. So Ben Curling for the Rockets, out there in front, taking it for the home club easy. Going down the final step. Here comes Penny now with a last effort, but it's not enough. Curling takes it, Penny in second, Pope in third, Rogers in 4. Up next, the 13-year-old A final. For the Hawks, Emily Arena. For Gosport, Travis Wilson. For Bad BMX, Nick Oaten. For Peckham, Denny Laborde. For Bournemouth, Kobe Joyce. For the Hawks, Matt Hart. For TNT, Josh Werner. And for Gosport, Ethan Craik. Quality line up in this one. Hart's full away well, please come across Craig. And Josh Werner going well too, and it's Werner out there in front. Hart, Craig Laborde. That's the order into turn number 1. It's Werner still out there in front. Ethan Craig being forced right there, and Matt Hart is still out there in front. Here comes Matt Hart though with a last challenge. It's going to be all on the final straight. Werner out there in front. Hart is there in the 2 and catching. Here comes Craig. It's all on the final straight. And Matt Hart might have snatched it at the death. Werner in 2. Great choice. Yeah. Quality race there with a 13-year-old A final. We've got the 13 and 14-year-olds girls now on the gates. For Greenwich, Willow Kirkman. For Nywood, Amy Grant. For Gospel, Ellie Junker. And for Bad BMX, Amy Willats. Here we go, Ellie Junker already going into the early lead there with Amy Willats in chase. And Amy Grant and Willow Kirkman in the third and fourth spot. Ellie Junker going pretty wide there on that first turn, but getting a bit of speed up as she does. And that puts her flying down that second straight. Ellie Junker for Gospel, it is your leader from second place. Looks like Amy Willats. There for Retro Racing, Bad BMX, Willow Kirkman in the third and Amy Grant in four, and it looks like it's going to finish that way. Ellie Junker then, across the line she goes for Gospel, she's going to take the win. Amy Willats gets the second, Willow Kirkman in third and Amy Grant in four. And now we go on to the 14-year-olds A final, where we have, for the Hawks, Sam Alexander. For TNT, Joseph Carter. For Peckham, Keevan Sharp. For Knightwood, Nathan Rogers. For Bristol, Max Penny. For TNT, Toby Harris. For Bristol, Callum Pittas. And for Andover, Finley Mead. The game goes down. This is a 14-year-old A final. Finley Mead with Callum Pittas has the early lead. It's Pittas and Mead, that's your 1, 2 and 3. Peckham in there in the free spot, that's Keevan Sharp. As they go down the second straight, Pittas is out there in front. Mead there trying to go straight. And it looks like Keevan Sharp.
Where the
And that's Kenny. And someone disappears into the trees. But as they go down the final straight now, Pittas and now Finley Mead gets to move on. And Finley Mead takes it to the death. Pittas in the two, close for third. Okay, pretty even start. Connor Hedges away well on the outside. Look like Robert Head got off to a good start. Well, Robert Fletcher, I should say. But as they go into the second straight, it looks like Jordell Horsley Horton now has the lead. Connor Hedges there in the 2 spot. Then in the 3, Louis Strauss and Robert Head, Ross Bell, Matthew Cullen, Rogan Dixon in there as well. And then Tristan Allen as they come down the final straight. There's Jordell Horsley Horton. Here comes Connor Hedges with a late finish. Jordell Horsley Horton, Connor Hedges, Louis Strauss, Robert Fletcher, and then it was close. As Tristan Allen ends up on the floor, not for the first time today either, but he's up okay. So the 16-year-old A final will now on the game. For TNT, William Bartok. For the Hawks, Reese Lucas. For the Southwest, Connor Wells. For Peckham, Katura Davison. For the Hawks, Joe Brewer. For Bristol, Mitch Bomroff. For Andover, Jack Gordon Stables. And for Peckham, Deerham, Macaulay Perry. So here we go, A final for the 16-year-olds. Over here, Macaulay Perry kicking away. Jack Gordon Stables going alongside him, shoulder to shoulder. Into the first turn, we've got Carnage on the end of the first straight. It brought Cat Davison to a standstill. But out there in front, he's straight out there in front. Jack Gordon Stables from here Macaulay Perry. And it looks like another horse rider involved there as well. That's Joe Brewer. And here comes Darren Macaulay Perry back at JJ and Mel Cordy on the deck. Darren Macaulay Perry, Jack Gordon Stables close to the win. Then it looked like
it's that to the line thing again, though. Yeah.
Up next to be the Vex A final, where we have for Gospel, Stuart Catford. For Bournemouth, Steve Manning. For the Hawks, Neil Stewart. For Bournemouth, Bernie Shale. Bournemouth again, Christian Kift. For Runnymede, Fabian Warnier. For Bristol, Danny Taylor. And for Peckham, Mike Pinnock. Here we go, the go goes down. Veterans, Kift has got away well. Pinnock is in there as well. And it's Pinnock out there in front. Pinnock is your leader, followed by in second place. Looks like Danny Taylor, Steve Manning, team running then up into the second. Fabian Warnier is next. Christian Clifford's in 4. Neil Stewart in 5. Danny Taylor in 6. Out there in front by a long way now. Pennett's going to take it. Warnier's going to get the second. It's going to be close for third. Manning and Kiff. Danny Taylor, Neil Stewart. As we go into the fourth moto for 17 plus ladies. Peckham, Sky Norris. For Bournemouth, Izzy Pope. For Runnymede, Abby Roberts. For Merton, Sylvie Vargas. For Bristol, Vanessa Harrison. And for Peckham, Shamika Shaw. There we go then, fourth moto for the 17 plus ladies. Sylvie Vargas away well, but Izzy Pope was away even quicker. And she's gone out there in front. Oh, got riders down there on the first turn. Look like Sky Norris has brought to a standstill there by Abby Roberts. So out there in front, Izzy Pope, out there in front, Sylvie Vargas in second place. And it looks like it's going to end up that way. Sky Norris managing to stay up right there. But Shamika Shaw has also come down. So as they come down the final straight, the win will go to Izzy Pope. She stays out of trouble. Sylvie Vargas gets the second. Sky Norris in third. Plus ladies cruiser A final. For Runnymede, Chloe Painter. For the Hawks, Anita Wong. For Cyclopark, Tabitha Rendell. For Knightwood, Nicola Kennard. For Bad BMX, Sue Farahone. And for Gosport, Nikki Spears. Gosport again, Bethany Fletcher. And Gosport again, Rennie Dowell. Gay goes down, Nicola Kennard away well. You can see also Bethany Fletcher away well. And so too was Rennie Dowell, Nikki Spears, Nicola Kennard down to fourth at the minute. And Nita Wong is there, Sue Farahone there in 5. Tabitha Rendell and Chloe Painter 7 and 8. But it's Bethany Fletcher out there in front from Rennie Dowell there in the 2, Nikki Spears in 3. Sue Farahone, Nicola Kennard there in 4 and 5. Then Anita Wong, and then we've got Tabitha Rendell and Chloe Painter down the final straight. They come, Rennie Dowell now on a chance for Bethany Fletcher. As they come across the line, it's neck and neck on the line. Beth Fletcher and Rennie Dowell together. Nikki Spears definitely third. Sue Farrow, Nicola Kennard, Anita Wong, Tabitha Rendell and Chloe Painter. Junior Cruiser A final now on the gate for TNT. We've got Luke Terry. For Hurston, Jack Wiggins. For Gosport, Matt Spears. For the Southwest, Tyler Coombs. For Hurston, Josh Marmon. For Bournemouth, Luca Mansi. Bournemouth again, Theo Pope. And for TNT, Josh Werner. Gage drops, we're racing. Who's got a snap? And from the outside, Werner's off like lightning there. He's in there in the front, going into turn number 1. It's Josh Werner out there in front. You see that he's in the second. Looks like the 699 of Tyler Coombs. Then we've got Josh Martin there in the 3. And Theo Pope in 4. But it's all about who can catch Werner at the minute. And it doesn't look like anyone's going to do it. Josh Werner is out there in front. Tyler Coombs going to get the second. Josh Martin in 3rd. Theo Pope in 4. Max Spears in 5. Luca Manson 6. Jack Wiggins 7 and Luke Terry in 8. Okay folks, we've only got 2 more to go and it is the Super Cruiser A final now on the gates. For Merton Saints, Andy Lee. For Knightwood, Anthony Howes. For Bristol, Neil Hopes.
Got anyone in this?
For Merton Saints, Nick Priest.
You got anyone in this?
For Bournemouth, Stephen Hassel. For TNT, Owen Duhigg. For Andover, Damien Mead.
Yay.
And for Merton Saints, Mario Berno.
Yay.
Here we go. Mead is off to a good start, a fairly even break. Neil Hopes has got off well, Berno's in there as well. And Anthony Howes, and there's Carnage. Hopes out there in front. Damien Mead involved in the crash. Anthony Howes now trying to move through on the lead. It's Howes out there in front. Hopes is there in second. Another rider goes off onto the pebbles. It's all going off then. Owen Duhick now trying to make a move. Down there in front, it's Ashley Howes and Nick Priest. Ashley Howes, Nick Priest for the fast finish. Howes and Priest together. Andy Lee, then Neil Hopes. It was all going off in behind. Owen Duhick ending up on the pebbles. And Damien Mead and Mario Berno, they're all okay.
Well done, Mario.
Once again, massive thank you to everyone in the South Regions. They've put in today on running it very smoothly again. Also, the Runnymede Rockets, you've got a fantastic venue here. The track is absolutely awesome. Everyone will be back hopefully for the club champs next month because this place is riding smooth. And good luck to you with it. Thanks to everyone who volunteered today, from the medics down to anyone who's held a flag, and all the usual thank yous. If I missed anyone out, I'm sorry, but a big thank you to you all, and we'll see you back here next month. Of course, good luck to everyone going to Manchester for the Brits, as we go on now to the regional playback A final, where we have for TNT Owen Baxter, for Peckham Tian Isidore, for Runnymede Jordan Firma, for Peckham Nathaniel Campbell, Peckham again Kai White, also for Peckham Harvey Hudson, for the Hawks Gideon Arena, and for Runnymede Billy Lockhurst. Here we go, regional playback, Hudson away well, Lockhurst going with him, it's Hudson and Lockhurst as Arena bites the dust. It's Hudson out there in front from Lockhurst, also Firmo trying to get in the mix, as well as Cole White back in the floor. It's Hudson out there in front, Lockhurst trying to find a way through. It's all on the final part of the course now, and it is Hudson still out there in front. Here comes Lockhurst over the finish. It's all down the final straight, and Billy Lockhurst does it. Hudson in second, Willow Campbell got through for third. Sorry, Kai White third. Wow. Another thrilling end then.